Hello and welcome. This is Jeet Dulakia and you're watching is Tomorrow News. 3 children die in landslide, heavy rain in Cox's Bazar. Primary school teacher killed in Solomon landslide. 3 children died and 18 other people were injured in landslides and by drowning due to heavy downpour in Teknaf and Ramo Abzilas of Cox's Bazar yesterday. A chunk of earth from a rain-soaked hill fell on the houses of two families living at the foot of the hill at Palanpura around 6 a.m. 12 members of both the families were also injured in the incident. Besides another child, 13 from the same area drowned due to the heavy rainfall. People living at the base at the hill are at risk. It had been raining since Monday, which could trigger further landslides, the OCA read. Meanwhile, 6 people were injured in another incident of landslides in Cox's Bazar, Teknaf Marine Drive in Himachari area around 4:10 p.m. The injured were rescued by Bangladesh Army's 16 Engineer Construction Battalion and were rushed to Cox's Bazar District Health Complex. Our correspondent reports quoting sources. Besides, houses of the 3 families were damaged after chunk of earth fell on them and Shaliban Rohingya camp due to heavy rainfall yesterday morning, said local people. No casualties have been reported in this incident so far. The Gizo community in Solomon Island, Western Province is mourning the death of a woman who was killed in a landslide this morning. The slip, which happened between 7 and 8 o'clock this morning, buried the primary school teacher and her daughter. Rescuers worked through torrential rain and strong winds to try and reach the pair but were only able to get the daughter out alive. The teenager is in a stable condition at the Gizo hospital. The mother was eventually found, but she had suffered a blow to the head and was pronounced dead at the scene. The slip took place at Malkareva and covered part of the living quarters of the Gizo Connected Services. The woman was married to the commandant of corrections, who was also in the house but managed to escape with their 2 sons. The father has been admitted to hospital for treatment. Provincial Police Commander said the slip, which was preceded by the weak torrential rain, was the worst in the island's history. We have been experiencing landslide, but only they damaged the gardens, food gardens and all the things, but not taking away any life. But so far, this was right happening in the capital of Gizo. It is the first time and it is the big loss to the families of Gizo and especially the family of the commandant of correctional services. The provincial police commander said even while he was at the scene of the tragedy this morning, he was getting calls of more landslides and flooding of other nearby island. He urged the public to take extra precautions and to move to safer locations if they live close to landslides and next to rivers and streams. Tropical strings with activity as Atlantic hurricane season reaches its peak. With the peak of Atlantic hurricane season upon us, there are certainly a few tropical disturbances that are being monitored over the basin, which could approach the Caribbean and North America over the next couple of weeks. While conditions are relatively quiet over the Atlantic basin at the start of this week, it could be a different story late this week or next week. During the middle of the tropical season, from late August through the middle of the October, most tropical storms are born from tropical disturbances called tropical waves that moves westward from Africa. This is also known as Cabo Verde season, which borrows its name from the Cabo Verde island located just off the west coast of Africa, where many these tropical waves from. The Cabo Verde season has been responsible for the most of monster hurricanes over the years, including the most recent Category 5 hurricane Dorian. However, most of these tropical waves fail to develop due to wind shear, dry air and other inhabitation factor. There are 3 tropical waves of note for this week which bears close monitoring. The first tropical wave remained poorly organized north of Hispania early Tuesday morning. As it progresses, forecasters expect it to reach parts of the Bahamas that were just ravaged by Dorian. We expect this disturbance to move west, northwest and move across the central and southern Bahamas during Wednesday and Thursday and then across the Florida Peninsula during Friday and Saturday. While this feature is likely to cause an uptick in showers and thunderstorms and inhibit recovery efforts in the northern Bahamas, it may also bring some temporary relief from the heat. Rapid strengthening of this feature is not anticipated should low-end development occur. This means that the Bahamas should not have to deal with a powerful hurricane from this particular disturbance. Steering winds may allow that disturbance to reach the eastern Gulf of Mexico by this weekend. There is a better chance for organizations and strengthening of this feature once it moves past Florida and enters warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico this weekend. Magnitude 4 earthquake shakes Valdemar area. A 4.0 earthquake jolted the Valdemar area of Riverside County in US on Tuesday afternoon and was widely felt throughout the region. The tremor struck about 1:21 p.m. according to the US Geological Survey. It was centered about a mile east of Valdemar and 4 miles northwest of Murrieta. The quake's initial magnitude was 3.9 but was later upgraded to 4.0 according to USGS. KTLA viewers reporting feeling shaking in Riverside, Fontana, Victorville, Long Beach, Laguna Hills and many other areas. One said it felt like a train going by, while another reported it felt stronger than the magnitude indicated. The area where the quake hit is not far from the firefighters were battling the Taneja fire. The blaze, which erupted last Wednesday, has burned 1,926 acres and is 94% contained according to the CAL FIRE. There were reports of people feeling the quake throughout the Inland Empire and Orange County. There were no immediate reports of damage or injuries. The earthquake occurred less than a mile from Murrieta, 2 miles from the Lake Elsinore, 2 miles from the Lake Village, and 2 miles from the Menifee. In the last 10 days, there have been 2 earthquakes and magnitude 3.0 or greater centered nearby. An average of 234 earthquakes with magnitudes from 3 to 4 occur each year in California and Nevada according to a recent 3-year data sample. The earthquake occurred at a depth of 8.8 miles. Did you feel this earthquake? Consider reporting what you felt to USGS. Even if you didn't feel that small earthquake, you never know when the big one is going to strike. Ready yourself by following our 5-step earthquake preparedness guide and building your own emergency kit. This story was automatically generated by QuakeBot, a computer application that monitors the latest earthquake detected by USGS. A time editor reviewed the post before it was published. If you are interested in learning more about the system, visit our list of frequently asked questions. Hat-trick of good start in September, monsoon remains active. Monsoon 2019 has had a hat-trick of good start as far as the first 10 days of July, August and September are concerned. The month of June had begun on a sluggish note with a monsoon arriving 7 days late than the usual time. Moreover, the month of June had ended a deficit note. In fact, in the first 10 days of the month of June, the country had recorded rains deficient to the tune of 44% with the month ending on a deficit of minus 33%. On the other hand, the month of July began with a bang, with the country observing 22.5% surplus rains in the first 10 days, taking the deficiency down to just about minus 40%. The second core monsoon month, August, also had a very good start in the beginning, wherein the first 10 days had seen 49% of surplus rains, with which the cumulative rains came down to 0%. Moreover, the month of August saw a series of monsoon systems, about 7, which formed in Bay of Bengal and moved during the drenching many parts of the country. The heaviest daily rainfall was observed on August 9, when the countrywide average rains were at 19.3 mm, followed by August 8 at 18.4 mm. Meanwhile, September followed a similar track, with the rain surplus beginning at 36.2% in the first 10 days of the month. Usually, the average rains in the September go down. Even then, September 5 saw the daily rains at 11.8 mm and September 8 10.9 mm. If the figures are compared to 2018, June had a surplus of 15%, but all the other 3 months were deficient, with July being at minus 15%, August minus 33% and September minus 14%. A low pressure had formed in the Bay of Bengal around September 4. Thereafter, the system moved inland across the central part of the country. The system has been hanging around and is likely to stay for another 3 to 4 days. However, after a couple of days, rain will see a drop and reduce, resulting in the daily rainfall in being even below normal at times. That's all for now. For no news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News, Jeet Dolakia. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe.